Hi, friends. You are watching this because you are either interested in quarterly marketing planning or you just downloaded my quarterly marketing plan template, which you can see right here. And I'm going to walk you through how to use it. Now, you want to start off with annual goals. That's the easiest place to start. You want to know where you want to be at the end of the year. But you don't need to plan that all out right now, do you? No, that's why we do quarterly marketing plans. So set up your annual goals first. What revenue do you want to hit? How many customers do you need to get to reach that revenue goal? And what is your average contract price so that you can do the math and figure out exactly what you need to reach those goals? So we'll start there. You have that. Now, let's go into how to break that down into quarterly planning. Right here is my quarterly marketing plan, which you can download if you haven't already. Most of you are probably watching this on the plan itself, so you're ahead of the game. But if not, I will drop this in the description, the link to download it, that is. So here it is. Break it down into quarterly goals. So we're going to specify the quarter, and then you want to get into the customer. Now, if you follow Tiny Marketing at all, that I like to focus on ideal customer avatars or target markets as the core of the marketing strategy. So you know exactly how to talk about the problem, what challenges they're having, what triggers get them there. So we start that off with this. We want a customer persona and we want their objective. What is it that they want? What is it that we want them to do? So most likely we want them to buy from us. So put in your offer here and compare it to the persona details. So you can see, does my offer really align with their challenges, their triggers, all of that jazz? So start there. And then put down their customer journey. So I break it down into awareness. How did they discover you existed in the first place? Consideration. All right. So they've discovered you existed in the first place. Now they are considering you and they're putting you on a short list with other competitive alternatives. So it might be direct competitors, but it also might be like deciding if they do nothing at all or if they hire you, or maybe they hire a VA instead of hiring you. So that's the consideration stage. And then decision, they decide that they want to work with you. What are their goals, their touch points, emotions they're feeling, questions that you get during those calls, the pain points they have, and any improvement opportunities that you can glean that might help make the experience that you provide for your customers a little bit better. Okay, and then retention is the last one. So they are already your customers, but you want to retain them. So you also want to know all of these points for your direct customers. So I'm just going to give you an example to make this as easy as possible. And let's look at consideration. What goals would they have in consideration? Might be to stay within a certain budget. It's definitely going to be to solve their problem. Might be to reduce the time they spend working on something. Touch points. So where do they find you at each one of these stages? In consideration, it might be a sales page. It could be a discovery call or a sales call. Your proposal is probably part of that. More bottom of funnel content would be part of that. Emotions, how do they feel? They might feel excited at this stage. This is a fun stage because they found some solutions to their problems and now they get to make that decision. What would make sense to solve my problem? Okay. And then we get down to quotes or questions. So questions are really huge. I record every single sales call I'm on because they ask such juicy questions that I can use in content later. So write those down. Make sure that what questions you're being asked regularly. Those are also great objections that you can put in your sales copy. Because if you can preemptively help people overcome their objections to your offer, you're going to sell a lot faster. Pain points, what challenges are they experiencing? So, in consideration, the pain points they might be considering is they're overwhelmed. They have too many options and they're not sure what the right one is. And then improvement opportunities. So, look at your actual operational process at each stage of the sales funnel. That's what you want to improve. So, at consideration, you're probably looking at they are most likely contacting you or having a touch point with you on a sales call or a proposal follow up. So, look at that process. Is there anything that you can do there to make it easier? Can you streamline it? Can you automate anything that just makes it feel easy and nice for them? All right, so that's the customer journey. You want to fill this out. Now, you don't have to refill this out every quarter. You could just duplicate this so you have that available to you when you're ready for the next quarter. Now we're going to look at the goals achieved for the previous quarter first. So again, we're copying, we're duplicating this, so we don't have to redo a lot of this. So you'll have your goals from the previous quarter here. So write down the goals, what strategies you used, what KPIs or key performance indicators that you're using to identify this was a success or this was a failure. How much did it cost you? And how much revenue did it bring in? This will really help guide you going forward in the next quarter. You'll know what makes sense to keep, what makes sense to cut, and you'll have some idea of how much opportunity you have to bring something new into the marketing lab, as I like to say. There's always room for experimentation each quarter. Just keep it minimal. Experiment with one thing. But this will give you an idea of how much room you have or how big of an experiment you can conduct. Okay, so you want to keep track of all of that here so you know exactly what makes sense. Goals in progress, we're going to be doing the same thing. So these are the goals that you want to do the next quarter. What is the goal? So looking at your goals for the year, break those down into little bite-sized quarterly goals. What can you do to reach, let's say, $1 million in annual revenue? Break that down into how many customers you would need based off of your core offer. And then you'll know, okay, I need a 5% conversion rate on my blog content based on the traffic I'm getting right now. So that can be a goal of yours. What strategies are you going to use to get that traffic? Maybe it'll be partnerships, newsletter swaps, webinars. What key performance indicators will help you identify that is going to work for you? So that's where you would say, I have 5% conversion rate on this blog. What budget do you have to boost blog posts that you have or send out or do advertising around your podcast? And then any notes. This is the progress that you have, any blockers that are happening, things like that. Here's the data. So this is where you want to track those annual goals by quarter. And you could just click into that and you could see right here, if you continue using this in Canva, that you can track your data points right here. Okay. So when you're tracking your data, you can do this in a Google Sheet and you can add it into Canva, or you could do it right in Canva. But either way, you want to track that revenue goal that you're reaching every quarter to make sure that you're on the right track. And any other goals. So I'm talking about revenue like it's the only possible goal, but that might not be your goal. If you're a small business or a solo entrepreneur, your goal might be reducing the amount of time that you're spending on projects, and that's something you can track. I don't want to put you in a box and say revenue is the only thing that matters to you. Okay. Here is where you will want to put in any insights that you've learned so far. So, what were things that worked? What were things that didn't work? Tracking this really helps for moving forward. Anything that you learned from the previous quarter. And then your plans for next quarter. You're going to fill this out. And then here's your checklist. So, the checklist is everything that you might possibly need in order to reach these goals for your plans for the next quarter. So, I've broken it down into everything I can possibly think of. So, we have all of the things that you might need to do to reach these goals for website, social media, email, paid media, SEO, digital PR, content marketing. So, I hope this gives you a good idea of how you can do it. So, these are plans for next quarter. This is the data that you're tracking annually, so you keep that the same. Goals in progress. These are the goals you are currently working on. And goals achieved. These are the ones that you worked on the previous quarter that you have already met. So you're tracking all of this, and it all starts with the customer, your target market. I hope this helps. And if it doesn't, email me. My email is hello@sarahnoelblock.com. You can reach me there anytime. I'm always in the inbox. And if it's not me, it's my assistant. And I'm happy to answer your questions or do a little loom for you to help you get on the right track. All right. Thank you.